Cardiff, the capital of Wales in the United Kingdom, has a young, diverse and growing population. Pre-COVID-19, every day 190,000 commuter trips were made by Cardiff residents, and 100,000 people were travelling into the city. 80% of these journeys were made by car. Transport, especially road transport, is an emotive and contentious issue in the city. My name is Enda Hayes. I'm a Professor of Air Quality and Carbon Management based at the University of the West of England, and I am the lead of the Cardiff case study, which is part of the WeCount project.
I'm Eva. I live in Roath, Shirley Road. On the street for many, many years, we've had problems with just the odd car going tremendously fast. We had a bit of a bad experience with him recently. He actually got knocked by a car here, but luckily he wasn't too badly injured. All he had was a sort of a bit of a bloody paw. You survived, didn't you? You survived.
When I originally moved to Cardiff, that was one of the first things I noticed, how bad traffic is and how clogged up everything gets. I was just shocked at how few provisions there were for cycling, for example. I used to live in Riverside and had to commute across town, and I used to hate, absolutely dread having to either cycle past the castle, the state of the road, just the hostility of different participants in traffic to each other. Especially a lot of time on a bike, you can feel hostility towards you.
Most weeks cycling to work, there's somebody who'll not have noticed me or think they're more important than the cyclists. And lots of my friends are nervous and don't particularly like to cycle.
I don't think we're quite in the place where people feel confident to cycle, especially with their children or anything like that. I think people have to be a bit brave to cycle around Cardiff at the moment.
We did approach our councillors some time ago saying that we felt that something needed to be done about it. They said they would arrange to have some kind of speed test on the road, but when I've chased them up, they've said, well, we'll chase it up, and then never getting back to us. So basically it's just silence.
It was April. I actually saw some tweets about the project from somebody who was already capturing information using the Telraam sensors in Roath. And so I thought, oh, I want to get one of those as well. I want to see what's happening on our street.
The WeCount project is a 2-year citizen science project. The purpose of the project is to work with citizens in various different cities around Europe to try and better understand traffic on their street, in their communities and in their cities.
Well, I'm Nick, this is Poppy and Rosie.
We have some serious traffic issues around here.
Everyone keeps zooming past my house. A number of people have taken the opportunity to burn rubber. 50 or 60 miles an hour is common and is downright antisocial.
We're interested in how we can make that safer.
Really happy and proud to be involved in the project.
Just received my WeCount. I'm hoping to get some good data sets out of it.
Now we do this by using a sensor called a Telraam, which is based on the Raspberry Pi hardware. And basically you put the Telraam sensor in your window, you point it at the road, and then the Telraam sensor can count the amount of cars, the amount of large vehicles, pedestrians and cyclists that are going up and down your street. And it can also look at speed of cars, so we get a better understanding of how quickly people are passing by.
I had no perception of how many cars are driving down this road, so I was really surprised to see that it's, I think in total vehicles, it's something like 10,000 vehicles a day.
One of the things that's very noticeable is the number of cyclists on our road. There's very few people that appear to cycle during sort of traditional commuting.
But another thing that really surprised me was the number of really large trucks and heavy goods vehicles that also use this road. It kind of surprised me that that residents have to experience these huge vehicles going along here.
It was quite clear that there were cars that were going too fast. It's backed up what I knew anyway, but it's just really important in this case to have numbers to back up what our hunches were.
When you do put it in definite numbers and say, oh, there's several thousand cars going past my house every day, it is openly accessible. It's so nicely visualized as well. Now if someone says, oh, it surely can't be that bad, I can go, no, look at this, that's how bad it is.
We have become empowered by the information, so we know what's happening on in our street, and we're able to look, and we have compared our street with other streets.
When you start relating that to different areas of the city, you think, hang on, we've got a real problem here. I contacted our local councillor, so he's using that data now to speak to the officials in the council to see if we can change the designation of the road.
Really interesting, really good actually. People do come to us and say, we've seen this, what are you doing about this? Or this is interesting, can you factor this into the plans? I know our council officers are taking on board some of this data as well. So really keen on that and really good, because you know there's issues around air quality, around traffic levels that I think in the past maybe citizens haven't even been aware of.
The individual voice I don't think carries much. You try to use whatever power you have as an individual not to be dismissed, and I think having the data helps as well. Enabling
Anybody to look at a local area and say, well, what's going on here, and empowering individuals to analyse that data and understand the experience that they have.
Because of the data that we've got, and because of the information, and because we're more informed, I feel more confident in approaching our councillors now. As time goes by, as there's more conversation between the council and residents, we might start to actually have a stronger voice.
I think the more people that are aware of what the actual volume is, and also if people see that there are other people campaigning for change, that would give you hope that change is possible.
People get motivated when they see other people doing the same, so your personal experience is kind of it is the same as other people's experiences, you know, elsewhere in the city. You know, it confirms it, it validates it, and you know, people bounce off of each other as well, and then you feel like doing something.
People have an understanding or an idea of what traffic looks like in their street. And what we're trying to do is use the data to change people's minds, both the users of the data and also their neighbours and the local community. And once we've changed our minds, then see if we can actually change their reality. See if we can make changes in that urban environment that actually brings about a more positive urban mobility and urban space, a healthier space for them and their family, both now and in the future.
Oh, the silence would be wonderful.
Car-free city centre.
I'd certainly like to see traffic moving around the city much slower.
Hopefully, touch wood, it will be far more active.
A lot more cycling.
More people walking, more people scooting, more people cycling. You know, every street in Cardiff, a young person should be able to cycle with their family or on their own, with their mates, feeling safe and able to do that. Far more, or even more, use of public transport.
I would like to see more space in the street given over to supporting creating health and well-being.
Maybe less cars and more people walking and cycling around their local areas.
In fairness, I think Cardiff are beginning to